My name's Ethan Walsh, and I'm the guy who's always been there for my family. No questions asked. I'm single, no kids, just me and my dog, Rusty, in a small house on the edge of town. I've got a decent job as a mechanic, fixing trucks mostly, and I make enough to keep the lights on and have a little left over. My brother, Nathan, he's the opposite, married to Lori, with their daughter, Ava, and a house that's always got some new repair bill. Nathan's got this whole family man vibe, always talking about how he's got it all figured out. Me? I'm just the uncle who shows up with gifts and picks up the slack when things get tight. It all started when Ava got accepted into college. Big deal, right? The whole family was buzzing. Lori was posting about it on Facebook, Nathan was strutting around like he'd won the lottery, and my mom was calling everyone she knew. I was proud of Ava, she's a good kid, always has been. I'd been the one getting her stuff over the years, her first bike, a phone when she turned 16, even new sneakers when Nathan said they couldn't swing it. I didn't mind. Ava's smile was worth it. A few weeks before her graduation, Nathan started acting strange. He'd call me up, talking about old times, like when we used to fish at the creek as kids. He even dropped by my place with a six-pack, which was weird because we don't hang out like that. I could tell he wanted something, but I played along. Graduation was coming, and I figured he was just stressed. Lori texted me one night, saying the college deposit was a huge burden, and how Ava would be so grateful if I could help. I didn't want Ava to miss out, so I wired the money. Then, because I'm a soft touch, I bought her a laptop, nothing fancy, just something to get her through school. The graduation party was at Nathan's place, a big spread in their backyard with string lights and a barbecue. Lori's cousins were there, Nathan's work buddies, neighbors I didn't know. I showed up, handed Ava the laptop, and she lit up, hugging me like I'd given her the moon. Nathan was already a few drinks in, laughing too loud, and Lori was flitting around, playing hostess. I stuck by the cooler, sipping a soda, trying to avoid the chit-chat. Then Nathan got everyone's attention for a toast. He stood on a chair, beer in hand, and started talking about family, how it's the most important thing, how Ava was his pride and joy. I was nodding along until he looked at me, grinned, and said, "Here's to Ethan, the family bank account." The crowd roared with laughter. I froze, my face burning. Ava giggled, Lori smirked, and Nathan kept going. "Don't worry, folks, he's got no family to spend it on, so he's happy to foot the bill." The laughter got louder, like it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard. My mom gave me a weak smile, but nobody said anything. I felt like I'd been slapped. I stood up, my hand shaking, and said, "Hope you enjoyed the free ride, because it's over." The backyard went quiet. Nathan waved it off, like I was overreacting, and Lori laughed nervously. Ava looked down at her plate. I grabbed my jacket and walked out. Nathan called after me, "Come on, man, it's just a joke." I didn't turn back. Driving home, my knuckles were wide on the steering wheel. I was done being their punchline. After I walked out of Ava's graduation party, I thought maybe I'd cool off and things would blow over. Nope. My phone started lighting up before I even got home. Mom texted, asking if I was okay, saying I didn't need to make a scene. Ava sent a quick, "Sorry, Uncle Ethan," with a shrug emoji, which just made my blood boil more. Lori messaged, asking if I could PayPal them for the extra burgers they bought since I was expected to stay longer. Nathan sent a long rant about how I'm too sensitive, how he was just keeping things fun, how I owe it to the family to pitch in. I didn't reply to any of them. I tossed my phone on the couch and cracked a beer, trying to shake the image of everyone laughing at me. This wasn't new, not really. Nathan's always had this chip on his shoulder. Growing up, he was the charming one, always had a girlfriend, always the life of the party. I was quieter, better with books than people. When I got my mechanic job and started doing all right, he'd make these little jabs, like I'm selfish for not having kids, or my house is too nice for just me and Rusty. At the party, he just said it louder, in front of everyone. I was done letting it slide. The next morning, I woke up to more texts. Lori sent a picture of Ava with her laptop, tagged me on Instagram with a heart emoji, like that fixed everything. Nathan left a voicemail I didn't bother playing. I decided right then I wasn't just mad, I was out. I texted Nathan, Lori, and Mom, saying I was done being their fallback. Mom called, saying I was being dramatic, but I told her I meant it. She sighed and hung up. For a few days, I went quiet. Ignored the family group chat, didn't pick up calls, left texts unanswered. I focused on work, took Rusty for long walks, tried to act like everything was fine. But I kept replaying Nathan's words in my head, the family bank account. It stung worse every time. I've been helping them for years. When Ava's bike got stolen, I bought a new one. When their water heater broke, I covered the repair. I even paid for Ava's summer camp one year because Nathan said they were strapped. And what did I get? A room full of people laughing at me. The first real test came a week later. Lori texted, asking if I could send her my chili recipe for a potluck. I didn't respond. She texted again, saying Ava needed help with her college application forms. I left it on read. Nathan stayed silent, which wasn't like him. He's usually the first to push. Ava liked a few of my old posts on Instagram, probably fishing for a reaction. I didn't bite. Then Mom called, asking if I'd come to her place for her anniversary dinner next month. I told her to talk to Nathan about why I wasn't showing up. She said I was making things harder than they needed to be. I hung up. I didn't just stop sending money, I I stopped being their safety net. I canceled a streaming service I'd been paying for Ava. When Lori texted about a school fee for Ava's trip, I didn't answer. It felt strange, like cutting a rope I'd been holding for years. But I was serious. If they wanted to treat me like a joke, they could see what life was like without me. It's been about 2 weeks since I walked out of Ava's graduation party, and I'm sticking to my guns. I thought maybe Nathan or Lori would figure out I was serious, but they're acting like I'm just throwing a tantrum. I've gone full ghost, muted the family group chat, ignored calls, left texts on read. I'm not blocking anyone, but I'm not engaging either. I've been keeping busy at the shop, fixing engines, and taking Rusty for runs at the park. It's weird how much quieter life feels when you stop jumping every time your phone pings. The fallout started small but got real fast. Lori kept texting, asking for random stuff, like help with Ava's college paperwork or if I could spot them for a car repair. I didn't reply. One day, she sent a message saying Ava's school trip deposit was due and could I cash app her. I just texted back, not your bank account. She didn't respond, but I could practically hear her fuming. Nathan finally called, left a voicemail about how I'm letting the family down, how I can't just walk away when people need me. I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. Ava's been quieter than I expected. She sent a text saying, "Why are you being like this?" I didn't answer. I saw her post a story on Instagram with her laptop, captioning it, "Thanks anyway," like I'm supposed to feel guilty. I don't. I'm not mad at her, she's just a kid, but she laughed along with everyone else at the party. That's on her. Mom's been the worst, though. She keeps calling, leaving voicemails about how I'm tearing the family apart. I told her, talk to Nathan about what he said. She said I'm being stubborn, but I'm not budging. I didn't just cut off the money, I stopped all the little ways I've been propping them up. Last year, when Ava's phone screen cracked, I paid for the fix. When Nathan's lawnmower died, I chipped in for a new one. There's even a gym membership for Ava that's still coming out of my account. I called and canceled it, texted Lori to update her payment info. She read it, but didn't reply. It's wild how fast they notice when the help dries up. The real kicker came when I got an email from Ava's college. Since I paid the deposit, my name's on some of the financial aid forms. They needed my signature to move forward. I forwarded the email to Nathan and Lori with a note. Handle this yourselves. Nathan called, cussing up a storm in a voicemail I didn't answer. Lori showed up at my shop the next day, banging on the door after hours. I was still there, cleaning up, so I let her in. She didn't even say hello, just started yelling about how I'm ruining Ava's future, how Nathan's working overtime, how I'm punishing a kid for her dad's dumb joke. I stayed calm, told her. Nobody made Nathan call me the family bank account in front of 50 people. Nobody made Ava laugh. She got in my face, saying I think I'm better than them, that I'm just bitter because I'm alone. I said, maybe, but I'm not the one begging. She stormed out, slamming the door so hard it rattled the glass. That night, the group chat blew up, Nathan calling me selfish, Ava saying I'm making it weird. I didn't respond. I'm done playing their game. It's been a month since the graduation party, and things are getting messy. I've stuck to my plan. No money, no favors, no playing the family bank account. Nathan and Lori are scrambling, and I'm not sure if I feel good or just tired. The group chat's gone quiet, mostly because I muted it, but I hear things through the grapevine. My buddy Jake, who knows Nathan from high school, says Nathan's been griping at the bar about how I'm abandoning the family. Lori's posting vague stuff on Facebook about real loyalty, and Ava's barely online, which isn't like her. Mom's the only one still trying, texting me pictures of her garden or asking if I'll come to church with her. I tell her I'm not ready to play nice yet. The cracks are showing. Lori called last week, saying their car wouldn't start and could I come jump it. I told her to call a tow truck. She hung up, but not before saying I'm hurting Ava more than them. Nathan texted, asking if I could cover Ava's phone bill for 1 month. Just one, he swore. I didn't reply. Then I got a letter from the insurance company about Ava's car. My name's still on the policy from when I helped them out last year. I called, took myself off, and texted Ava to sort it out before the coverage lapses. She sent back a sad face emoji. I left it at that. I ran into Ava's friend Sarah at the gas station. She asked if I knew why Ava's been so down. I shrugged, said, ask her parents. Sarah gave me this look, like I'm the bad guy, but I'm not spilling the whole story in the parking lot. Back home, another email from the college came through. More paperwork tied to the deposit I paid. I forwarded it to Nathan and Lori, same as before. Not my problem. This time, Lori called, voice shaking, saying Ava might lose her spot if they don't get it sorted. I told her, then sort it. She called me heartless and hung up. Mom invited everyone to her place for a barbecue, and I wasn't on the guest list. I found out when Jake posted a picture of Nathan flipping burgers, Ava sulking in the background. I called Mom, asked why I got left out. She said, things are tense, Ethan. Maybe next time. I said, don't hold your breath. It hit me hard, realizing I've been the one keeping this family glued together. Me, the guy they laughed at. Now they're falling apart, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to care. Things took a turn about 6 weeks in. I was starting to get used to the quiet. No family drama, just me, Rusty, and the shop. But then I got a call from Ava. Not a text, a real call. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. She was crying, saying she might have to defer college because Nathan and Lori couldn't get the financial aid sorted. She said, "I know you're mad, Uncle Ethan, but I didn't mean to hurt you." "I'm sorry," I laughed. Her voice was so small, it cut through my anger. I told her I wasn't mad at her, but her dad needed to step up. She said Nathan's been working late, Lori's picking up shifts, and they're still coming up short. I didn't promise anything, just said I'd think about it. That night, I couldn't sleep. Ava's always been a good kid, and I didn't want her dreams to crash because of Nathan's big mouth. But I wasn't about to go back to being the family bank account either. I decided to call Mom. She sounded worn out, said Nathan's been snapping at everyone, Lori's barely holding it together, and Ava's been holed up in her room. I asked why nobody's owning up to what happened at the party. Mom said Nathan's too proud, but she talked to him. A few days later, Lori showed up at my house. I braced for a fight, but she looked defeated. She said, "Ethan, I'm sorry. We took you for granted." Nathan's sorry too, but he's too stubborn to say it. I asked why they thought humiliating me was okay. She said it wasn't planned, just Nathan being Nathan, trying to be funny. I told her it wasn't funny, it was cruel. She nodded, tears in her eyes, and said they're drowning without my help. I said I'd consider helping Ava, but only if Nathan apologized to my face. She left without arguing. The next day, I got a text from Nathan. "Can we talk?" I didn't reply right away. Part of me wanted to keep the wall up, but Ava's call was still in my head. I texted back, "You know what I need to hear." He didn't respond, but I could tell things were starting to shift. They're learning life's harder without me, and I'm learning I can't stay mad forever, not if I want to be the uncle Ava deserves. 2 months after the party, Nathan showed up at my doorstep. It was late, raining, and he looked like he'd been through the ringer, hair messy, jacket soaked. I opened the door, ready to shut it if he started yelling. Instead, he just stood there, hands in his pockets, and said, "Ethan, I screwed up. I'm sorry. I didn't let him off easy." I asked for what. He took a deep breath and said, "For calling you the family bank account, for making you feel like a joke. I was jealous, man. You've got your life together, and I'm barely keeping up." It was the first time he'd ever admitted that. I let him in, not because I was over it, but because I wanted to hear him out. We sat at my kitchen table, Rusty snoring in the corner. Nathan said things are bad, his hours got cut, Lori stressed, and Ava's college is hanging by a thread. He wasn't begging, just laying it out. I told him I'd help Ava, but not like before. No more blank checks, no more being the butt of his jokes. He nodded, said he'd do whatever it took to make it right. The next day, I called Ava's college and sorted the paperwork, but I made it clear the rest was on Nathan and Lori. I also set up a small fund for Ava's tuition, but it's in her name, not theirs. Nathan called Ava and Lori, admitted he was wrong, and told them he'd been unfair to me. Lori texted me later, saying thanks, and Ava sent a long message about how much she appreciates me. It felt good, but I'm not naive. Things won't change overnight. Mom invited me to dinner, and this time, I went. It was awkward. Nathan was quiet. Lori kept fussing with the food. Ava stuck close to me. We didn't talk about the party, but I could tell they were trying. I'm not saying we're all good, but it's a start. Nathan's got to prove he means it, and I'm keeping my boundaries firm. I'm not the family bank account anymore, but I'm still family. It's been 3 months since Nathan apologized, and things are different, not perfect, but better. Ava's enrolled in college, thanks to the fund I set up and some scholarship she hustled for. She calls me every week, telling me about her classes, and it feels like we're back to normal. Nathan's been true to his word, at least so far. He stopped the jabs, and when we talk, it's about real stuff, like his job or my latest project at the shop. Lori's been kinder, too, even sent me a homemade pie last week. Mom's thrilled we're all speaking again, though she keeps saying, "Don't let it happen again." I've changed, too. I'm not as quick to jump in and fix their problems. When Lori mentioned a leaky faucet, I gave her the number of a good plumber instead of grabbing my toolbox. Nathan asked for advice on budgeting, and I pointed him to a free app rather than offering cash. They're figuring things out, and I'm learning to let them. It's not about punishing anyone. It's about respecting myself. The other day, Ava came over with a thank you card she made herself. It had a picture of us fishing when she was little, and inside, she wrote, "You're the best uncle, not a bank account." I won't lie. I got a little choked up. Nathan's still got his pride, and I'm sure we'll butt heads again someday. But for now, we're rebuilding, one honest conversation at a time. I'm not the guy who just pays the bills anymore. I'm Ethan, the uncle, the brother, the son. And that's enough.